Assalamu alaikum. So today let's do on abaya, a loose fitted garment. So starting off with our illustration, I just started off drawing from the neckline, moving on to the shoulder to the sleeve. Since it's a butterfly abaya, abaya in itself is a loose fitted garment. You don't have to be worried about the shapes and the curves of your sketch, the template. So I'm just using a simple pencil and an eraser and drawing it lightly. So keeping in mind that I want this kind of an abaya which will have wings and a body part, a loose fitted garment, and kind of a sleeves, full length, and then sorry, that's called. So I'll be showing you how to sketch it out and then shade it out, keeping in mind the shades it falls alongside. And here I'm just doing a bit of handwork that I want it over. I'm just making a little patterns there where I'm going to give a little pattern of handwork design. Here is my sleeve shape. Just go along with your armhole, a little away from your neck, below from your shoulder, and that's a bit of opening, sleeve opening. And so once you're done with your outlining, I'll darken it a little so that when you're tracing it out you don't find it difficult to trace. And you're going to trace it out using pen. Pen can be any pen. I'm using, since it's a abaya which is in black, the basic color is in black, so I'm going to use a black pen. Yeah, sorry again, I got a call. um, my basic color is black. A black pen that I'll be using will be a .7 violet pen. I'm just trying to highlight it out where I'm going to trace, and once I have these drawn with my pen, I'm going to erase out the rest of my pencil drawing. So you can just watch it out what I'll be doing here. Sorry, I was on a call. So here is my pen tracing. I'm using a pilot pen. Make sure you're tracing with your pen be in a flow with no breaks and overlays, overdoings in it. It might give a wrong, might not give a neat finish of to your sketching. I'm just trying to erase it off the pencil lines that may be visible, but on this drawing, since I'm going to color it with black, even the black pencil lining is not going to be so visible in this. So the shading is very important. In my right hand, uh, so let me just explain it to you how exactly your shading goes. The hand that I'm using is my right hand, so that will be where the light is falling on. The light is coming towards my right hand side from my left hand side. So I'm trying to make my shadings in that way. So here I've just divided my abaya into half, wherein one part will be a little darker than the rest. So it's the flow of light. I'm just trying to show the flow of light from where it's going to fall onto my abaya. So that's going to give a 3D effect and a better look to your abaya and more realistic, picture. So just color it off. The color that I'm using is a simple black Faber-Castell pencil. The darkest black is what I'm using. I'm going to go, once I'm filled with one shaded, I'm going to do another layer of shading to darken the side of the abaya, the right side of this abaya. So once I'm done with the darkening part, then I'll be moving towards the next. So I'm done with one side. So here comes the next. Make sure you don't color it too dark over there, and just starting with a little darker, moving on to the lighter shade, and just smudging it around, just smudging the black color in and around of your other side. Makes it look a little shaded, a better shaded way. So I'm trying to highlight the every corners of the abaya so that it stands out. That gives a better outlook again. So coming to the right side sleeve, I'm just going to fill it with the overall black color. And that's the darkest part is the opening, sleeve opening. So here the darker part will be below my sleeve. On the right side, the darkest part of the shaded area will be below my sleeve. On the left side, the darkest part of the shaded area is going to be the hip and the waist area. In and around the hip, waist, and the sleeve. Underarm of the sleeve area. So you just watch me. Yeah, the other most important thing while shading is the way you shade should be followed overall. You know, I'm just going along lengthwise. My shades are falling down. Starting to work from the above the sleeve. It was just going below, and now because I have to do a little shading just below my sleeve. uh, I'm just trying to make it go in a horizontal way. That's for the shading, but the overall coloring was in a vertical way. If you just noted down. So that's my one sleeve shading is almost done. Just erase off if you have any other outlinings, or if the paper is smudged with your black color. Erase it off. Now moving on to the next sleeve. It's again the same way. Make sure your shadings, your coloring falls in the same direction overall. Only if required, you can move your pencil towards the other way. Shading it in other way. Unless and until you please make sure that it falls in the same way. I'm going in again in a vertical way here. Um, yeah, it's once it's colored, now I have to make sure. Now I'm just highlighting out the shaded area. So the light is coming towards one side and it's not falling towards the other side. The shading shows the way the Maya is going to be pictured in a real way. So shading is actually does the part, bringing it out, making it stand out. So now after the drawing shading part is done, I'm going to move on with my handwork pattern. So the area, the scallops The white scallop area is an empty area that I have left, and that will be a cutout. I want to have embroidery, hand embroidery, which has a cut work on it. So those parts are going to be empty, or going to be cutted out while stitching, and it's going to be see through from there towards your back. See, I'm just giving small triangle patterns for my hand embroidery, and I have been using black gel pens. Sorry, it's a blue glitter gel pen, and I also want to have work with blue and pink. I want the work to be in blue and pink, so I'm using pink color also over it. So just not necessary that you have to draw exactly the way that I'm doing it. The pattern can be anything, uh, the way you want it to be. Just go along, let the flow be the same, overall design be the same. So I'm just giving a little minarets all. So that will be my final part. I'm just trying to make sure the visibility of my pink glitter gel pen comes out, and it gives a better look to your designs and patterns when you're especially designing it. And here when it's going to be a handwork, obviously I'm going to use tube beads and silk thread and stones, so that's going to be a glittery stuff, a jinjang stuff, um, with a sober color threads on it. So that's where I'm going to get the work done from. And finally moving on to my shawl. Yeah, yes, Abaya comes with a shawl. So without a shawl, this one was for my production. So I'm just units. So I'm just showing you overall, in fact, the overall thing, like how you design, and keeping in mind what exactly you want to give into your production unit for the making, and how clear are you about the pattern. It has to be really clear. You have to be first of all clear before you start drawing, and this pattern is what you want, and then bring it onto the paper, and make sure once your design is done, make sure you give the name it and detail it. So when it goes into production, they have a perfect idea of, okay, this is what the material is going to be used in this abaya, and this is how you wanted it to be. It's very important when when you're drawing, make sure everything comes out perfectly. Or if the design hasn't been shown, make sure you mention it anywhere in your paper, on your paper. So that's it. I hope you got to learn from this video, and if you did learn something and you want to learn more, please do like my video and comment below. Thank you, and Allah Hafiz.